Okay, we are going to talk about powers. Power products, powers to powers. Whoops, P-R-O-D-U. This is why I teach math and not language arts, guys. P-R-O-D-U-C-T-S. Yay! So if we have, for example, x to the fourth to the third. So we're taking this little exponent and we are raising it to this other exponent. When that happens, we have to multiply them. So x to the 4 times 3, which means x to the 12th. Okay? Now, the thing that can be confusing about this, you have to do it to everything inside whatever's in the parentheses. So if we have x to the 4th, y to the 7th, z to the 8th, all to the second power, this little exponent out here gets shared with everything inside. And the way that we share it is through multiplication. So then we get x to the 4 times 2, y to the 7 times 2, z to the 8 times 2, and then we would get x to the 8th, y to the 14th, and z to the 16th. And we do that because it's really taking whatever this is and multiplying it out. So x, in this example, if we were to expand this, x to the 4th would really be x to the 4th times x to the 4th times x to the 4th. We're just shortening it by saying x to the 4th to the 3rd because that's 3 times that we would need to multiply those. Okay, now I know you guys are probably asking what happens if we have integers in there. So if we have 2x to the 4th, y to the 3rd, and all of this is raised to the 3rd power, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to redistribute, because remember, we have to distribute this 3. So we get 2 to the 3rd, x to the 4th times the 3rd, y to the 3rd times the 3rd. So this means 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, and then 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so this is how it works. Don't forget we have to distribute, we have to share with everyone. That's kind of how this works. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but when we do this, this is how this works. Sometimes though, we'll have some ones that look really, really horribly mean, and they're really not. So if I had 4 x to the 3rd, y to the 6th, I know I'm using a whole bunch of x's and y's, times 3x, y, all to the 2nd power as well, the first thing I have to do is I have to share. I have to share this wonderful little 2 with everything inside here. Or I have to share this wonderful little 2 with everything inside here. So the way that we're going to do this, let me give us some more room, is going to end up being 4 squared x times x to the 3rd power times the 2nd power, y to the 6th power times the 2nd power. So this is just my first parentheses. My second parentheses, I'm going to do the same thing. 3 squared, and then x. Remember there's that invisible number? Do you remember what that is? Good, it's 1. So 1 times 2, y, 1 times 2. And that's my other parentheses. Now all I have to do is simplify this. So 4 squared is going to be 16. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So there's my first parenthesis. My next parenthesis tells me 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, not 3 times 2. 3 times 3, which is 9. And then 1 times 2, which is 2. And 1 times 2, which is 2. So this isn't horrible at this point. But what might trip us up a little bit is what we do next. So it's just like when we were multiplying exponents. So I need to take my integers and multiply those first. So 16 times 9 is 144. How many bases do you see? Because we've taken out those integers, I don't have to worry about those. I'm only looking at my variables now. Good, we have an x and a y. So here's my x, here's my y, and then the question becomes, how many x's? How many y's? Oh, sorry, that one did not look right. So let's see if I can get rid of just that. Okay, so here and here, because we have to do something about those. I know they're not color coordinated, so I apologize. So we have 6 x's here and 2 here, which means we have a total of 8. Because remember, we're going back to multiplication, and when we multiply, all we have to do is add them. It's just when we're taking a power to another power. And then we have y. I have 12 here and 2 here, so I have a total of 14. I hope this helps to make things a little bit more clear. Remember, bring questions to class. Always ask. I bet you are probably not the only one who has that question.